What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well, and in today's video we're basically going over some attachments in Rust to help you get an upper hand like edge and kind of attachments to put on certain guns, just to make it a lot better for accuracy, stability, and all that sort of stuff. So make sure to stick around to the end of the video to get the most amount of knowledge that you possibly can about these attachments. So, going into number one here, we've got the Holo Sight. So this is the most commonly used sight. The only attachments that I'm missing here is I think the muzzle boost and the handmade sight. So no one really cares about the muzzle boost or the handmade sight. These are kind of like their main attachments that you mostly see on people's guns. So yeah, we're starting off with the Holo Sight. As you can see, it has a 2 times zoom and increases accuracy. You mostly see these on every single game. So if you don't know what Holo Sight is right now, it's this one that I've got on the gun right here. So it again aims you in just a little bit, not to kind of, it doesn't zoom in too much that you can really see your surroundings, but it does it enough that you can see what exactly you're aiming onto. So it is super good, super common, and definitely pick one of these up and shove it on your gun as soon as you possibly can, because you really don't want to be running with just a normal iron sight. So this is the gun with an iron sight, and then if you put on the attachment, as you can see, it's a lot more cleaner, and I just find it a lot better. But some people do like the iron sights, so it's fully up to your kind of preference. Going on to the 4 times scope, as you can kind of tell, it's pretty obvious. 4 times, so it magnifies how far you go in by 4 times. So let me just put this on so you can see how much this really does. Kind of push it in, so as you can see here, and you zoom in super close. So there's a turret about 2 tiles away, and you can basically see right in it. So in certain gunfights, if you can switch it well enough, it's nice to have a little 4 times in your inventory. But it does cost a bit of high call, things like 40 to 50 high call just for the scope itself. So whether or not it's worth having early game is fully up to you, it's your time preference. But for me, I normally keep it off. I normally put the holo on, and I'll leave the holo on, kind of ARs. But on a bolty, you want a 4 times. Of course, it's a sniper rifle, long range. You snipe with this, then follow up with the AR. So you can have kind of little strategies you can do with the gun. Next on is the laser sight. If you're any sort of experienced on Rust, you will know that a laser sight is absolutely insane. You have on any sort of gun that you possibly can. I don't have it on this gun, on the LR that I have, because I just pulled it straight out, so I do apologise. But of course you need a laser sight on everything, whether it goes from shotguns to pistols to ARs to the snipers. You want a laser sight on, because it reduces recoil, it increases the accuracy, and when you hit fire, you can see a little dot, so you have a bit more accuracy for when you're hit firing, so you know where your shots are actually going. So it has like loads and loads of benefits for this. So the reason, I don't know why you wouldn't want this on if you've actually got it in your base. But a few things is you can have a scope. You can either have a weapon laser sight or a flashlight. I'll get on that in just a second. And then you can have one of these end barrel things like a silencer or a muzzle brake. Those are 3 things you can have on a gun at all times. So you can't have 2 scopes, obviously, and you can have a laser sight and a flashlight. So that just bear that in mind. You can't have 2 of the same kind of genre of kind of attachment. So going on to the weapon flashlight, which is pretty basic. It really doesn't give you any sort of buffs. It's pretty kind of useless, but you do find it in quite a lot, especially how dark this game is. The only benefit is when it gets super dark, you can hear someone around you, but obviously you can't see them. So just turn on your flashlight, spray them down, turn off the flashlight, because you illuminate so much during the dark. So you do stand out. So turn it on when you need to, turn it off when you have to also. So just bear that in mind, it is super bright. So almost at the end here, and it is the silencer. So the silencer, if you are new to kind of RPG, kind of FPS games, then you will know that silencers is pretty self-explanatory. That you shoot a gun, it silences your gun. So let me just get this here. Let's put these attachments real quick back on. So this is what it sounds like with a silencer on. There's a bit of a scuffed kind of recoil control, but it will do. And if you take it off, so it's a lot louder than what you have when you don't have it on. So make sure that if you're going kind of stealth and doing one of these spec ops operations, if you're some sort of PvE or you're Frost to do one of his videos, a good benefit this does have is for raiding. I'll be doing a raid tips and tricks video soon, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But basically, this is super good for when you're using Explo for taking down doors. It just makes it so you don't hear tons and tons of gunfire, and kind of attracts third parties and counter raiders to where you are. So just shove one of these on your gun, Explo down, and you're fine. It's also good for when you're trying to like kind of ambush someone. They don't really know where you're coming from because obviously it's silenced, and you have the upper edge on them, and you're most likely going to win the fight if you do hit your shots. But obviously it increases your accuracy, but it decreases the velocity by 25%, decreases the damage by 25%, which is a big kind of decrease, because obviously you want as much damage as you possibly can, as quickly as you can, so you can get in and out of the fight as fast as you can. But obviously it decreases recoil, which is quite nice. But obviously you can look at this yourself. Obviously you don't need this video, but I'm just going to go over the kind of basics and essentials that you might not have known. And lastly, the muzzle brake. So the muzzle brake it's decent. It's not the best, but if you're trying to control recoil and you're really just trying to get the hang of the game, then put this and the laser sight and the holo sight on your gun, and in my opinion it does really well. But it does have its defects. Obviously accuracy goes out the window. That's kind of just mostly hip fire and that sort of stuff. Velocity, distance, it doesn't, like, the bullet drop off is a lot shorter, so it's better for close range fights. And the damage is decreased, but your accuracy, like your recoil, is a lot more manageable, especially if you're running an M2. But if you're running M2, I'd highly recommend a silencer, just because of how loud it is, and I just find it better. So if you're running an M2, run a silencer, run a laser sight, and it's up to you between a 4x and a holographic. That's kind of the layout, in my opinion, for an M249. But yeah, that's really the end of the video. I hope this video did help you out in some sort of way. If it did, leave a comment, let me know what part of the video that you found helpful, and if you didn't find this at all helpful, then also let me know down in the description below, because feedback is always helps. It does help my channel out a lot when you guys do kind of comment and let me know what I did well and what I didn't do well and what I can improve on. But that's really it. If you do want to join my Discord, that'll be linked down in the description down below. And I do appreciate everyone that is showing me tons and tons of support, and it means a hell of a lot. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.